Hey guys, another day working on a 1972 Opel GT, my yellow one. Another day working on it. You guys saw in the last video. Let's get it running, driving, all that good stuff. Get it tuned up a little bit better. So what we're going to do today, so you guys know in a lot of other videos, if you guys have seen it, check them out if you guys haven't. The rear end in this thing is completely loose. Everything is loose on it. Every single nut, bolt, everything. I did tighten up the shocks because they were being really annoying. So that's the one thing that's tight. But if you guys can tell, that's a brand new nut. That trailing arm completely loose. I don't think there's even a nut on that side. One of them doesn't even have a nut. Torque tube needs to be rebuilt, not rebent. All the bushings are pretty well shot, as you guys can tell. I think there's not even a bushing right there on that side. Just the wrong hardware, all kinds of weird, goofy stuff on this rear end that we don't know what they're doing. But the really cool thing about this rear end, though, is it does have the sway bar brackets right there, as you guys can see those things, and that thing over there. So we're gonna take the whole rear end out, order all new bushings. Oh, another thing I forgot to show you guys, the paint hard bar. It's completely bent. You guys can tell right there, it is shot. So I have a nicer one actually laying around in the other barn from another car that is extra, so I don't take one off one of my other cars, like the red car. But so we're gonna get to that too, rebuilding that. We'll have to order new bushings for it. Oh, also another big problem we found. It's this thing here. As you guys might be able to tell, that is not factory. It's supposed to look like this. Versus that. I think this is a sway bar mounting bolts. I think, if I may not be correct though about that. I might be wrong. But look how it's all pushed up. So we think this car was in a junkyard for probably 30 or 40 years. Before I got it and before the previous owner that I got it from had it. So we think the forklift operator screwed up big time, because look at that. Look at those. That's not good. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably with the rear end out, we're gonna try to fix that. It's gonna be an absolute pain in the butt, but it has to be done though, because it's just not gonna work right. So, and may show you guys some helpful tricks along the way. First off, we're gonna drain the fluid, take the rear panel off, see what's inside of there. Because this thing was really low on fluid, actually dangerously low. We probably should have filled it up beforehand. But anyway, so we're gonna get on it and we'll get right back to it. Okay guys, a little bit later actually. Got the pan drop, got the fluid all taken out of it. Got the pan hard bar off, so you have to take, it looks like I take that off to get the pan off. So got that off. Anyways, I'm took off the dry shaft just a little bit ago. Look what I found. Pretty interesting right here actually. There's a dry shaft. Here's the U-bolts. These nuts were not even that tight, and they didn't have the safety things that you hammer on, or you put a punch on there. Well, look what I found. Taking it apart upon investigation. The whole freaking torque tube is loose. This nut is not even tight. That's supposed to be tightened to 87 foot-pounds. That's freaking not even tight, or they're missing the washer in there. Absolutely insane. So that's probably what's making that noise. That's not good. Because we noticed everything on this rear end of this car, even the front end kind of, sort of, everything is loose on the rear end of this car. So I don't think I'm ready to take it apart, but good thing we saw that, because that could have been interesting. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to taking it apart now. I'm gonna take off the rest of the front of the torque tube, put a jack underneath the front, like a little one. And then take off the rear shocks here and the trailing arm mounts, and this thing should plop right down here pretty nicely. So that is the plan here, and we'll get back to it. Hey guys, we're gonna try to drop the rear end out now. We got everything loose. Got the two trailing arm bolts out there. One was being a pain in the butt. We finally got it out just by hammering it back and forth and with the penetrating oil. Now we're gonna lower the front end of the torque tube down and then get it ready. Okay, it's loose. Now. Lose that a little bit? No, you want to lower mine down first, probably? Or, okay, yours first. I'll do mine just a little bit. Okay. There we go, down just a little bit. Okay, it's maxed out. There you go, let it down. Okay, bring it out of the way. Oh yeah. amazing. Wow. Cool. That worked perfect. That was a lot better than I anticipated. Cool. Now we just roll it right out of here, I guess. Right? What? There it goes. Okay, what about this? Is going to be a problem. This one's still connected yet. It's not broken off the plastic. And that's going to be. Okay, watch out, it's on the oil pan now. Yeah, I can see the right one's on there.
We haven't seen it.
There we go. Yeah, that, wow, that torque tube is, look at that. I think they took it completely apart. Big coil spring out, one coil spring, one coil spring, there's the other. Ah! Oh my gosh, you're a piece of crap. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, torque tube decided to just fall off. Okay. Well. Okay. Interesting. Well, there it is, guys. My hearing has came back in my right ear here. But I guess the torque tube said they wanted to fall out. That's interesting. Never seen that before. Whew. These rubber bushes are completely shot. Cool. Well, we got the rest of it out. Now we're going to probably bring the workshop here, take it apart, make it on a table or something. Start assessing what we need to order from Opel GT source. So we'll get on it here shortly and we'll show you guys what we get done. Okay, more of an update, kind of some interesting news. Got it off of there, torque tube off, the shaft off. Actually, I need to show you guys what I found first. I don't think I showed you guys this yet. Okay, so here's the shafts. The one off the yellow car out there is this one here. And you guys probably can't tell it. You guys probably won't be able to see it. Can you guys see what I am seeing on those splines? I hope you guys can. They're completely shot. So the splines are gone. And as I was telling you guys, I knew this thing was loose, and it was. When I took this guy off of there, it just popped right off. You have to use a puller to, because they're pressed on. You torque them to 87 foot-pounds. The nut was loose too. The impact went, didn't even impact once. And look what else they did. I don't know what the heck these people were thinking. So this is off my red car that's out there. I'm doing front end swap on it. And this is the one that's on there. We know that's correct because that car's never been taken apart rear end wise. This is the one that was off of the yellow car. What in the world did they do? Like, look at the side-by-side comparison. That's completely wrong. They pressed something like my grandpa didn't know how to explain it. It's just we don't understand what the heck they were doing here. We have no idea, to be honest. If they pressed this guy on or something, we don't know. We don't understand. So that's not a good part, probably. I'll assume anymore. And there's probably a million of those floating around anyways. But what the other kind of sad news is, so else we're just going to use that. We're just going to get that new torque tube off the red car because it was fine. We're just going to use that and put it on the rear end here. But after some investigation, I thought it was fine, but I didn't look close enough. Grandpa actually saw that it's pre-shot too. They're all like really like, I don't know if you guys, if it's focusing or not, but it's a really sharp point. They're supposed to be how they start at the beginning, like on that side, like a thick one. They turn to be the sharp point that goes on. So that really sucks. Another interesting thing I found, if you guys see the streaks down there, I screwed up on him like, oh, why is there grease? Why, or not grease, but why is there, you know, GL5 gear oil in there still? There's like grease, and I put my hand like this, pure chunks. The whole thing was absolutely chunks. It's actually in this rag that I put somewhere. I don't know where the rag went. The rag disappeared. But I should have showed it to you guys before I threw it away. Or, I don't know what I did with it. Maybe it's down there. But it's pure thing of chunks. They were big chunks too. It's like, wow. It's just sitting in there. They're like, well, that's cool, but the rest of the rear end looks fine, we think. The thing that's saving this rear end from not swapping out the two other ones I have laying around here that I'm not using currently, the one on that car and the one I have in the other barn, fine, is this, the sway bar mounts. That's the big thing. We have to re-weld those. It's just pain in the butt. And the brakes in this thing are brand new. Everything's nice. We'll see. Just kind of sucks, but it looks like this thing might have been off this car at one point. It says Opel right there, if you guys can see that. So that's kind of suspicious. So we don't know what. Somebody installed it, and they didn't do it right. But I'll also show you one more thing in this barn here. The torque tube, actual bushing guy. The main guy that goes around it here. Like, taking comparison, it was loud in here. This is the one off the 69 that we did a few videos back. You guys check out that video if you want an in-depth tutorial on doing the torque tube bushings. But here's that one. That one's completely shot, as you guys can tell. Well, this is the one out of this car. I already took the bearing out. This is what it is. It looks brand new, like actually. Like, legit, not kidding. The only part is bad is right there. And you peel it back, there's some cracks. Not bad, though, at all. And this is an Opel part. But it looks like they installed it wrong because this thing was smushed in there. So, we don't know what the heck went on. If they got a whole new rear axle that was low mileage and they didn't put it in there right because they weren't thinking or they didn't know how to do it, that could very well be it. I have no idea if that axle was original to this car. So, we're going to have to take off another one here, take off that nut. You guys go through. Take off this nut for this spline here. They say in the manual, service manual, just take it off and then use a special puller just to be able to hold it. I think the impact should be able to take it off and use a special puller to pull this thing off. We might have something laying around that might work. And if we can get it off and if it's saved, then we're going to take apart the other rear end that I have because I really want this axle because of the sway bar mounts. And I have some sway bars I just got laying around. We're going to try to take the torque tube off that car, use that shaft and that spline because they'll match up to each other better. Or if they're completely chewed up, they're not going to use me. So anyways, we're going to get back on it here. I'm going to take this off, see how it goes, and show you guys what happens. Okay guys, progress update. Show you what we got going on here. We made a puller to get it off. Actually, we didn't make one. We had one laying around. Thank goodness. Thank goodness sakes. This one worked perfectly, actually. I think it's a tire. I don't know what. It's some kind of puller. I did have to modify it with a grinder there to get it to work right, but it fits around there very nicely. Got them off there, and you guys can tell how shot it is. It is so shiny. I hope you guys can see that. It's pretty bad. So you can see it's like a wave. So yeah, so that came off really easy. Actually, I just used my hand too, and it wasn't that much of a press fit on. So I think we had to use the impact or anything. So that's pretty cool. Another custom Opel machine part that we made. So we're going to use this car's I think it's called a pinion spline, because the black cars, or not the black, the other rear end I have, I could do that, but I took the torque tube off, and this car already has a torque tube off of it, and it's sitting right there. Ooh, it's spider webby. Man, it's been a while since I worked on this car. And it's sitting right underneath there. So I'm just gonna take off that pinion seal and get the other guy off and clean up this mess. It's underneath here. This car's rusty as well. If you guys don't know the story in this car, go check out my past videos on it and what we're planning and why I have this nose here. That's what the plan is. So enough of that. I want to get that pinion seal knocked out to do this tool here, and then hopefully get this other guy press fitted on and start ordering parts maybe tonight, or in a few days, and get them coming. So then in a few weeks we could get this rear end back together. So that's the plan, and we'll get on it. Okay guys, well, plans have changed. As you guys can tell, we have the other rear axle in here because Grandpa did a bunch of reading and found out that we should be able to take out that, I guess I don't know if I told you this, the crush sleeve that is what gets damaged once you remove the barrel spline. That's what you have to replace that once you loosen it because it's going to be crushed down. You want it to be right, and you can't crush it down more or else it's going to be wrong. So the other rear end, we're like, okay, we were doing it and stuff. And so anyways, we decided to get back on this one because, yeah, it has all the good parts on it. So anyways, we figured out that we're just going to take out the axle shafts and take out the rear end, which there's 4 bolts. Actually, you guys can tell 4 bolts, and Grandpa says it should just plop right out. So we're going to try that. It should take us like no more than today. So we're going to do that right now. And then, yeah, and then here is, I finally got the gear off the red car. It was a solid like 3 minutes on the little, I mean, it's a baby impact, but still. Like a solid like minute on it trying to turn it. And this puller is actually the same puller it shows in the service manual. So that part number I showed you guys earlier, the W80653, this is the part number that they list for that, which is kind of, this is the same exact puller, just different brand, obviously. But yeah, so it fits in there perfectly. I did do it at first and it slipped off, and then I used a 2.5-inch muffler clamp, probably a 2 1/4 would work as well, or 2-inch. But the muffler clamp squeezes it on here, and it works a lot better because these are kind of weird. You have to use pliers for them; they just don't work that great. So make sure you use the muffler clamp. Hose clamp, I just use muffler clamp, and it worked way better. It came right off. But here, and you guys can tell this is the new one. This is the nice one. No, this is the nice one. You guys can tell how it's pretty nice shape. Everything's nice and thick. And then here's the junk one. You can see how it's just a totally different color. Kind of how it's just worn, really sharp and pointy. Hey guys, now we're making a special puller using an Opel torque tube that's really wobbly on that side. Oh well. We're gonna grind it down because the splines. Yeah, it's kind of wobbly. That's kind of bad. But anyways, these splines right here, you guys can see, we came up with a custom deal here. This guy here, it's for a Dodge rear axle, old one. We're gonna put this on here, and we're gonna use that torque tube and bolts to here, and then make something else, this metal plate with a hole in it to act like a sledgehammer. The thing is, the splines don't fit in here. We don't want to wreck this part because it's a good part, good tool. So we're gonna machine down the threads there, so then we can get one of these yokes, this junk yoke here that's totally wrong, and one of those nuts that I have laying around. It's one of the junk nuts, and it should work pretty good. So we're using an old 1940s lathe. And here's the plate that we're going to be using in that other guy for the weight to hammer it. So that is the plan. We're going to see how well it works here. Off to the grinder. There's right there. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Okay. Wow, that is good. Heck yeah. Woo. Okay. That's right. This thing goes like this. Like that.
And a little one. Up. Is that right?
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, come on, I had it beforehand. You want to cooperate now?
There you go.
There you go. Hey, you got it?
Going up there.
There it goes. Cool, that worked really good actually. Good job.
It's just as good as.
Let's go.
As good as O'Reilly's hammer.
There you go. Sweet. So. Okay guys, back onto the other side. I'm gonna get this side off, do the same trick. Oh, come on. Oh, I have to go side to side, that's why. There we go. There it goes.
Yeah, I thought I could see it moving, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought I saw it moving each time too. Let's just get stuck in there better. Okay guys, it is apart. As you guys can see. I got the axles out. That one was being a little stubborn, but you guys saw in the video we got it out. What we did is just pull them out, pull off the 4 main bolts. These are 19mm, I'm pretty sure. No, 17mm. Wrong, sorry. 17mm. And then what you do in the directions tells you get like a soft hammer. This is actually even softer than a rubber mallet. Just tap the edge of it here, and then it comes out, and get the other one, and then kind of wiggle that whole pinion or the whole, I guess, what I call it, ring gear assembly, and it drops right out. So that's off. And then for this guy, that hammer wasn't doing anything, so we got our brass hammer that we like to use for softer metals. It says use a soft face hammer. Brass hammer will do that. You have to give it a lot of good whacks because we think the bearing that's in there is pressed onto there kind of sort of when you tighten it up. So we had to give it a lot of good whacks, and I can feel it coming though. So just be expected of that. Don't be scared that it's really a lot of whacks. That's just what it does. So yeah, so got that off. The axles are laying in there. Also, we're really glad. I remember I told you guys before we found a lot of metal shavings in here. We think this bearing is basically what saved it from going to the rust differential and completely destroying the screw end. So that is very good because we didn't want that to happen. And then take a look at this. We're gonna check the backlash. I think it's what's called next. Check all that. Everything looks pretty good. There is some rust, a little bit of surface rust on these teeth. We saw a few. We're like, that's kind of weird. But that's okay. Here's the crush washer that we took off of this guy. This is why we can't reuse it. I don't know if there's a. I'll have to look at our new one and see what the difference is. It'd be kind of interesting. So this is what crushes down. So we'll have to look at that. But all in all, doing good. And check some other stuff here, and we'll see what else we get done today. Okay guys, it's been a few weeks, actually about a week and a half since we worked on this thing because my grandparents went to a car show in Tennessee for the Bantam and Austins. So we're back now working on this thing. Have about 20 minutes for us to go to work. Didn't get a whole lot done in the morning, just looking around, seeing what we'll have to do. And then we've been back on this thing. We've done a little bit. We cleaned the inside. We cleaned all the gunky grease out and all that crap. It's looking nice and fresh now. We just put some gear oil in the bearing races, so we're gonna put it back together. So we're gonna put the pinion gear back in there. Bearings are all cleaned out, all the grease is out of them, all the old wheel gear oil. And we got our huge shipment of parts right there in that box. A whole bunch of goodies from them, from Opel Source. Got our new crush sleeves here, and I want to show you guys the difference here. That's why I actually turned the GoPro on. So I'm going to show you guys this. That is the difference. So kind of interesting. That's why you have to use a new one. And then we're going to put that in, maybe make a custom tool. So you have to have a spline holder to hold the barrel spline in once you start cranking it on for the preload and all that. So we're going to use our slide hammer that we made. We're going to chop this off and braze, because this is hard metal, you can't really weld to it, I guess. We're going to braze a big lever onto it to make it hold it. So, and then we're hoping for the barrel splines we can just kind of tap that onto there, maybe kind of press it on so we don't have the right tool. I think. Okay guys, it's the next day. Had to go to work last night, so here we are again on a wonderful Saturday. Got a day off because we're on a party later on in the day. So, but this morning we're going to work on some stuff before we go to the party. So we got the everything on there. What we had to end up doing, because the bearing's kind of weird, we had to use this random nut that we found to press it on the bearing. Now we have some plays, you guys can tell, but not much. Basically we're at the point we think where the crush washer starts getting pressed in. So we just put this nut on there for now, because now we're going to be we're pressing the barrel spline or barrel sleeve, whatever you guys want to call it, on now. I'll show you what that. Oh, come on, you scoopy washer. There you are. You can tell it's not seated all the way. It has to go back a lot further than that. So what we're going to do is just use the nut. We don't have the fancy tool. We don't think we need the fancy tool. We think all we do is need this nut. The worst thing that can wreck is the crush sleeve. And we have 2 more extra ones we got from GT Source. So we should be fine there. But what we just did is we made the fancy tool that is like, I guess you can buy a snap-on one that's like, you know, gonna be like crazy money. So we don't want to spend that much money. So we use the junk, where did we put it at? I think it's back here yet. The slide hammer. I think I was telling you guys about the slide hammer tool. Yeah, it's still back here yet. So we just chopped off the end of it because it's shot. So now we still have the slide hammer yet, so we can pull axles and do different things with it. But now we have this thing. And this is the junk one. We just oiled it up so it doesn't rust. And I hope you guys can tell how shot those splines are. You guys can tell, they're really bad. They're actually worse than I thought they were. But Grandpa just brazed it together, and now it's turning pink. That's weird. But anyways, it's all brazed very nicely. It's pretty cool. So, because it's hard in metal, and I guess it's hard to weld too. So they were saying we should braze it, and we did. It's nice and strong. Yeah, so it fits. And you have to make an offset too, so it'll fit on there right. Because as the barrel sleeve goes on there, it's gonna be pressed in more. So something like that there. And then we're gonna get a socket in there, and then tighten it up. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And that's just pushing the barrel sleeve on. We're not doing the preload or anything yet. We'll do that in a second. But you have to have a torque wrench that's a continuously one, like a beam style. And it's supposed to be in inch-pounds, but we'll make something work we have on. And because you don't want the continuously thing, you don't want a click type wrench because that won't crush it right or something, or won't give you accurate reading. So we're gonna be doing this here, and we'll probably time lapse it, and we'll show you guys the final result.
Push it down together.
Good idea. Alright guys, so we're getting to that point. It's getting a little bit harder now. So what are we doing? Are we crushing the crush sleeve now, or no?
I think so.
Yeah, we think we're crushing the crush sleeve. So we got it at the point where everything is working pretty well. Now it gets a lot tighter, so we got the bar on there. We're gonna see what happens here. How much do you want me to go?
Just a little bit.
You want me to go on this side here?
Push down a little bit. We go a little at a time. We don't want to be in a hurry.
More than that.
All right, or
You can probably feel it from the back too, could you? Did it slip? I think it slipped off, yeah.
is that not
point.
metric?
No. Shoot.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, it broke your tool. That's happened.
Oh, broke the tool.
Oh, it broke the tool. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you pry it from the inside? But we'll go back and forth the hammer. There we go.
Huh.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're back. Trying to see what we can break next. We don't. So do we need a torque wrench or no?
I don't know.
I don't know. So we're ready. Okay, guys, back a few days later. Now it's like 87 degrees out, so a lot hotter than other days. The fan's going. Anyways, back on this thing, we got some stuff done already. We figured out that yes, the pinion gear is in there right. So, well, I think what I showed you guys that when we made the tool, we had to re-brace it because it broke. Did all that, tightened it down. I bought this tool at work. We figured out where we thought it was pretty good, but just to make sure I bought this tool, you can get them out of Riley's. They're not that expensive. It's a M195 part number. It's an inch-pounds torque wrench, which is what you need. You need a continuous beam, not a click type, because you want to measure the beam of it with rotating the pinion gear over. And it was right around like 5 inch-pounds, which is fine for what we're doing. It's close enough, because like Grandpa said, if we did it anymore, it'd probably go way over if we tighten it anymore. So that's fine. And now what we're doing is we're measuring the, what is it, a backlash? Yeah, backlash. And we got the dial indicator dude on here. And what Grandpa's doing is you put it on here, and then you want to turn this guy without turning the pinion, and you're measuring how much slack's in here without turning the pinion. And then, so we're doing that, and you got like, you get more as you go this way and less when you go this way because it's closer to the gear, obviously. I didn't know that, I just learned it now. So anyways, so now what we're trying to do, what we're trying to figure out now is what shims we want. So we're going to stick 2 feelers in here, 2 feeler gauges, and then figure out what the perfect backlash is. In the service manual here, it says you want it from 4 thousandths, 8 thousandths, and 5 thousandths desired. So we're going to try to get to that. We bought a nice shim pack from Opel GT Source. It's like $35, I think. It's right in here. I'll show you guys here. This is all the goodies we got. So all sorts of good shims, even for the, I think it's for the pinions or somewhere, but we didn't deal with that. So we're going to put here's the feeler gauges here. We're going to plop them in there and then figure out how much we need on one side versus the other side to see what the perfect backlash is, so we don't have too much movement. So we're going to do that here, and we'll show you guys what we get. Each rear end's going to be different, but we're just going to show you what we get. Okay guys, it's been several weeks now back working on the rear end of this thing. 4-H has kept me busy, so we've been cracking down on that, not working on this much. But anyways, got back together. Got just the other axle in today, got the other axle in the other day. Got the diff cover on, all that good stuff. So everything's good to go. Sealed it all up with the torque tube on it and our paint it. Got some Rust-Oleum, the rust primer or whatever, brown stuff. So that is going good now. And then we're gonna use some black, either semi-gloss or gloss black. We don't know what we're gonna use, that whatever's cheapest, as I say. So we're gonna use that. Oh, I need to do trailing arms next. Oops, forgot about those. So Grandpa actually got all the bushings out already. I did not expect him to do that, but he did. That's all the bushings in yet, but we're gonna keep that. So who cares? So I'm gonna get to painting these, and we'll show you guys the final result. And we'll have to work on the car because the trailing arm guys are not gonna be fun in the car. The bolts are stuck, and yeah, they're bent, and they've been seized. So that's gonna take a while. And we're gonna have to figure out how to get the dent out too in the floor. So anyways, we're gonna get back on it. And already it's been hours later. The rear axle is all the way painted for the most part. I think I'm gonna be done with it. Got the trailing arm paint bar painted. Just thought, let me paint the spring. So I think this guy's done. Hopefully. Battery's about ready to die in this thing because I'm special. We're gonna charge it. But anyways, back on this thing, we just had a heck of a time fighting out this trailing arm. This one here. So as you guys know, the shims will get stuck in the sleeves, and this one had the same problem. But someone's been in there before, and it was all, I should have took a before picture of it. It was all screwed up. Anyways, I was able to sawzall the rubber off, and then sawzall through the one side, through the bolt on the one side. 'Cause it's too hard for the sawzall to go through it. But after putting a new grinder wheel on this thing, I was able to saw right through the shim. It worked amazing. Just rotated it a few times, pop, came right out. So that was the way to go. We were trying to do all this different goofy stuff, but that worked. And that's the side there. It's kind of screwed up. I actually fixed it. Grandpa made a great idea of using these bolts and stuff and smushing it together, using these washers, smushing this side together, because that side's not as bad. But trust me, they were over like a full half an inch, quarter of an inch. And it's still kind of screwed up, as you guys can tell, but it's pretty good. It's better than it was. So the other side came out perfectly. Even the bolt came out. We were able to rescue the bolt. It didn't get rusted to the sleeve, I guess is the correct word. So yeah, so that's done. I'm done with that pretty much. And now I'm working on hammering out the dent, which I already started doing it. That's the dent right there. You guys can see the knots of metal. I think I explained it previously what we think happened. Forklift operator came in here and chewed it apart. This was actually worse than it was. I actually hammered it down quite a bit, but I did not realize this was here. So I'm gonna have to discover about that. And then this entire area needs to come down. If you guys look over there, see how it's down? This entire area has to be flat. So that's gonna be, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to do that first actually. Because if not, you know, it's horrible. So I've been using trick skin wood for this window, that window. Grandpa brought out the big sledgehammer here to try to hit it out with that. So I'm gonna see what we can do here. Actually, I don't even see the one knot of metal, just the one there. So I guess we'll get to it, see what we can do. Grandpa's cleaning up the torque tube where the bushing sits in there. We're the big bushing guy, so Grandpa's cleaning up that because we forgot to clean it up the other day. So anyways, we're gonna get on it and we'll get to it here. Okay guys, another day back working on this piece of junk. It's actually been here for a few hours actually working on it already. I got the dent hammered out all the way. I didn't film anything. I was going to record, but I decided not to, but it looks way better, as you guys can tell. Looks way better. Actually, the bottom you can tell even more that it's better looking. Let's see here. There it is. You guys can see how well that looks. So we are impressed and happy that we got that. Also bought a new hammer at an estate sale. It's kind of cool. Paid $5 for it, but has some weight to it. So cool. Good for sheet metal. Put another coat of paint on that because I found some spots I didn't get with it being flipped over. So got another coat of paint on there. Got the sway bar over here that I got. It's for actually a Cadet B. They're the same rear axle, and they actually fit better than a GT. This factory GT ones or the aftermarket GT ones they sell nowadays. So this is the stock one, and then I do have a 3/4 inch one laying in the other barn, but we're not going to put that on there because I can't see anything out of these glasses. But we're not going to put that one on there because it's too stiff, and some guys say it'll make the handling absolutely insane. It'll be like a drift car, so not going to do that. Okay guys, torque tube has been successfully installed, so that is done. Now it's time to try to hopefully put it on the car here in about an hour. So we're gonna put the trailing arms on the car first, mount those up, and then try to roll this thing underneath here. And actually, no, first I need to do the transmission. Forgot that. So we're gonna have to clean that yet. So I guess we'll get to it here and show you guys what we get done. Okay guys, so this is gonna be the end of this video. Got the rear end all painted up. This is gonna turn into a longer video than I like, so I'm just gonna make it into a 2-part piece here because we're gonna have to work on the transmission next and do more of that. It's gonna take a little bit longer, but this part of the video is gonna be rebuilding the rear end, which you guys saw, so that's gonna cover that. We're gonna be getting the bushings here hopefully soon, so eventually we'll get into that, but right now we're taking the transmission apart, which will be the next video in this little series. So just wanted to make a little conclusion saying that got a lot done, got this all done. Now we're gonna take a transmission out because there's some problems in that and get some parts ordered for that, look at the clutch, all that good stuff. So it's gonna be a little bit longer, but we're doing it the right way, taking things slow, trying to figure out what's going on. And so anyway, so this will be the end of this video. Check out the next one for the transmission drop, and we'll see you guys next